Brett Perigo, tonight's second place finisher. Plenty of fans here, Brett, and a solid second place finish.
Yeah, I got to shout out the Turn 2 Terribles over there. They're all a bunch of good guys to hang out with and talk to. I really like them.
How are you doing tonight, man?
Hey, I'm talking here. You know who you're talking to? Macho Man! I'm on my way to Monday Night Raw.
The second one.
Your choice.
It's a trap.
I feel like it is. I feel like he's setting up fights in the front stretch is what he's trying to do.
Speedway. We've got Devin Board with us.
At Keen Motorsports Shop here with Kyle Keen. Sitting here with Sean Keen. We're going to talk a little bit about racing history.
Yep.
What is going on? It is Monday, May 12th, 2025. I am Jimmy here with Jay-Z. We are the Turn 2 Terribles. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in tonight. We got a great show for you planned. We got Don Livingston of Livingston Lawn Care. He's going to come and join us a little bit later. We're going to talk about the Fallen Firefighters Night, pre-race party, the entire event at Lincoln, get all the information on that. We're going to talk about that. We're going to go over a pretty good World of Outlaw week here in PA. Talk a little bit about High Limit. High Limit is going on right now. I see you, Daniel Cohen. He says High Limit heats are over, listening for a bit before switching back to the feature. Appreciate you coming over and checking us out during that. Anybody that is listening, we got to have it on the side here. We'll try to keep you updated. They are doing the dash wheel here soon. But yeah, that and more. We'll talk about all of it. So, Jay-Z, how are you doing on this nice Monday evening?
Fantastic, man. Great weekend. Great weekend to be at the racetrack and ready to go for tonight. I'm excited.
Same here. I do got to give a shout out. Steph, I apologize. I did see later on that you called on Saturday night this was after the Outlaw feature, and you put in our Discord, and I apologize. Once we got back to our camper, we had a bunch of people at our camper on Saturday night. People from North Carolina.
Some random people just kind of wandered up.
Random people just kind of ran. It was great. It was awesome. That's the type of things that you get, when camping out for a World of Outlaw event. It's pretty cool catching up with some different people. But I do want to say I apologize to you because I didn't see really until it was 2 a.m. until I saw. So I apologize. But yeah, let's Don will be joining us a little bit later, probably around 8:30 or so. So let's get right into the recap for the week and get right into it. We'll start with Lincoln. So last Monday when we were on the air, they had announced that they pushed Lincoln from Tuesday to Wednesday. Good weather on Wednesday night. 43 cars was it at Lincoln? They had a really good car count. And Buddy Kofoid comes away with this one. Chase Dietz second, who was quick time and won a heat race. Anthony Macri third. David Gravel, Sheldon Hodenshield, Carson Macedo, Skylar G, Gio Selzy, Logan Short, and Danny Dietrich, your top 10. Gio, Skylar, and Danny Dietrich won heat races in addition to Chase Dietz. Logan Schuhart went 20th to 9th. Hard charger right there. Also not listed on this graphic here is Lucas Wolf was 25th, Connor Morell was 26th, and Freddie Raymer was 27th. Lucas had a good night until it wasn't in the feature. He was up front, but just had some bad luck there. But Buddy Kofoid was the winner here. He pretty much had a good hold on this race, but Chase Dietz was coming at the end.
Yeah, this was a good one. I knew Buddy. We talked about it here last week. Buddy won a race at Lincoln. He gets around the place good. He was kind of like at the end, we got kind of talking about Lincoln at the very end. I was like, hey, Buddy Kofoid's another one to watch. But otherwise, I think we had Macri in there. We talked about Gravel, talked about Sheldon gets around there, talked about Macedo, like all the usual suspects we kind of thought. But Buddy out front is a dangerous combo. He drives hard, and there was a lot of racetrack left early in that feature. Chase Dietz never really let him get away. In fact, was running him down some, and he threw a slider at him. Actually, he had him completely cleared. Couldn't quite finish it off after that one. The last restart. But great run for Buddy. I know he was thrilled with that. He drives hard. We'll talk about that here in a minute. Actually, some observations from Williams Grove. But can't complain here, right? Chase Dietz, Anthony Macri, second and third. But I got to talk about Danny Dietrich, because where I stood for this feature, he was running inside the top 5, I think. Had a flat tire, gets it fixed. He was driving like an asshole in the best way possible the whole way back through the field. Like I was in 3 and 4, so I didn't really see the other end, but in 3 and 4, he was visibly driving harder than everybody around him and passed car after car after car after car. And I actually talked to Troy Wagaman after the race, and he got caught up around some goofballs that don't run our racetrack very often, and he was trying not to wreck his own race car. And at one point, one of them held him up, and he said Danny flew around me at 100 miles an hour faster than me. Like he was just picking them off lap after lap. It was like he was driving pissed off. He wasn't even driving like just better lap times. The car was just buried right tight, just cranked left. And like, it was kind of fun to watch. I mean, he looked like he was driving pissed off. So, shout out Danny for getting back up there, getting a top 10, and time trial speed was there.
Yeah.
Both nights. Right. And that's one thing that you can really hope carries on for the rest of the year for him, because he's putting himself in position, which again, we'll talk about here in a little bit. But, Logan, probably before we knew what was going to happen at Williams Grove, Saturday, Logan could have potentially saved the season with a 20th to 9th run there, right? Yeah. Looking at it, kind of going, hey, he only ends up, 5 spots behind Gravel versus who knows what could have happened if he doesn't get back up through there. So, and even keeping pace with Macedo, right? A few spots behind him. So this was a good one. Lincoln, for the most part, puts on pretty good outlaw shows. There's good cars, and the good cars got into lap traffic, and, it was entertaining.
Yeah. Danny Dietrich was definitely one of the storylines. He was running up front, had that flat tire, and got himself back up into the top 10. Here it looks like he went from, backed it up from 4th to 10th, but that doesn't tell the whole story. He was definitely one of the fastest cars of the night. Chase Dietz was so impressive. I really thought he was going to get him at one point. Man, just he was quick time, won a heat, 6th in the dash, but got himself up there and just he was running higher than everybody, which isn't a shocker. And man, did he make it fun. Matt Trey says before he faded, Campbell and Logan drove up to the top 10 together. Yeah, Matt Campbell was up there at one point. I remember seeing him on the ticker. He was in 10th for a little bit, and there's a lot of movers here. Unfortunately, like I said about Lucas Wolf, got caught up in a wreck. And what did Matt Bird says that nose wing is in my living room, so at least he
Mhm.
got a souvenir out of it. That's pretty cool. But it was cool to see some speed out of Lucas. It sucks that it turned out that way as it did, but man, it's encouraging to see some speed out of that car for sure. Um, Other guys that I was impressed with, I was actually very impressed with Skylar G. We know he has a win at Lincoln a while ago, um, and he had speed all night as well. You know, just a solid top 10 finish, and just a guy that seems to be very good at Lincoln. Um,
Yeah, no, go ahead. Sorry.
no, go ahead.
Um, Chase Dietz, you were kind of talking about that, and I'll be honest, I wasn't sure how that would go. You know, with where we're starting sixth in the feature, and with you have Gravel in front, you have Kofoid in front, you have Skylar G in front, which we don't know how it's going to go. Danny was in front of him. There's a lot of good cars in front of him. When he slid Gravel and it stuck and the yellow came out, I'm like, okay, we got something. I was like, okay, we got a lot of race left, and I like Chase Dietz from P2. It took a Buddy Kofoid and a Buddy Kofoid car that was really, really, really good to beat Chase Dietz. Like that, he drove it harder and harder and harder. And he talked about it after the race. He's like, I got to go at one point, and he gave him everything he had. But can't take it away from Buddy. Man, he did a hell of a job.
Absolutely. Any other thoughts from Lincoln? Just
A lot of torn up race cars. Thankfully,
Yeah.
everybody was okay. Big junk, right? That one on the backstretch, kind of everybody, was a little worried about everybody getting out of that thing. Brady Bacon, Matt Campbell, and Chad Trout. Thankfully, they were all okay, and they were all back out. So, well, Matt didn't run Williams Grove, but and actually Matt came back and ran this feature, so his car wasn't torn up. It was top wing and some other minor things, I believe. But we did see Chad Trout, and we saw Brady Bacon back out Saturday. So thankfully they were okay.
Yeah, lovely. Dylan Norris also had he was in the
Heat race
car?
the 6. Yep.
Yeah, the 6, and he brought that out and pretty much right on the start of his heat race has a wicked wreck down the front stretch. It sucks for him. Just looked like a kind of like a checkup deal, kind of one of those things where it's kind of accordion effect in the back of the heat race start there. But yeah, so yeah, there's a lot of wrecked race cars, unfortunately, but that's how it goes sometimes. What's going on, Tony Sharp? Haven't seen you in a while. Evening, boys.
What's up, buddy?
Alex Robinson, what's going on, buddy? Good to see some of you guys out here in the chat. I really appreciate it. Let's get right to Williams Grove now. Posse, baby. We got Macri with the win over David Gravel and Danny Dietrich with a podium finish in third. Donnie Schatz, Justin Whittle in fifth. Buddy Kofoid, Freddie Raymer in seventh. Sheldon Hodenshield, Giovanni Selzy, and Troy Wagaman Jr. in 10th. Also, Chase Dietz in 11th. And shout out Zach Hampton with a 12th place finish. Your heat race winners were Anthony Macri, David Gravel, Justin Whittle, and Logan Schuhart, who you do not see listed here. He finished 25th, and he was also quick time for the evening. Got caught up in a deal that we're going to talk about here in a second. And your hard charger from 25th to 13th was Lance DeWeese. Right behind him was Darren Pittman, who also charged through the field. Something that I forgot to mention with Lincoln. That 69K had problems all week. They were trying to work these gremlins out. Seemingly from Texas. Had problems kind of on and off through Wednesday and Saturday. And obviously we had Friday rained out. So this was only one Williams Grove show this week. But it was cool to kind of see Lance and Pittman kind of work up through the field together. But this was awesome. This was a great Williams Grove race. And I got to say, obviously Anthony Macri, holding on, just was fast all night. Obviously he's Macri, but I got to say, I didn't expect the posse to show out as well as they did, especially at Williams Grove. You had 5 of the top 10 here, and 6 of the top 11. Just great turnout. Justin Whittle was a little bit of a surprise. We know he's fast at Williams Grove, but he timed well. Ran up front, got to the dash. And then Freddie, man, 18th to 7th. I know he wasn't technically hard charger, but hell of a run for him as well. But obviously, the story was Anthony Macri, and there was a pretty big wreck in this one, scary one, where TJ Stutz, leaders were coming to lap traffic. TJ Stutz was there, kind of got around in the middle of turns 3 and kind of left nowhere to go for Carson Macedo. And then he got in, basically landed right on top of Logan Schuhart. Luckily, he was okay. Everybody was all right. And Buddy Kofoid got clipped in this one too, but they let him keep his spot. And I was confused on that one. But he definitely clipped TJ Stutz. I was watching the entire thing. I don't know how they said he wasn't involved in the wreck. He was definitely involved in the wreck. So Outlaw officials missed one there. But yeah, that wreck was tough. That was a hard one to watch.
Yeah, no doubt. Tough deal for TJ. Just a horrible night. Just a bad night gone worse from the start, right? I mean, this guy destroys the car in time trials. They get it back together, all to make it out, take a provisional, and then wreck in front of the leaders, and then wipe out the second and third place in the points. And kind of like we talked about earlier, kind of where gravel may Logan tried to hang on to the points, like he could still like hang on there just by by a thread. It may be over. 120 plus points for both of those guys now. Neither made it back out. They were huge hits. Yep. It sucks. It's part of the deal, but it's just terrible timing for both guys. Glad Logan was okay. I saw he went live or made a post earlier. He said he had a headache from it, but got some new cars together, things like that. So what? Brandon, don't listen. There's provisionals in every event, in every outlaw race. Just because one of them calls this doesn't mean they don't deserve it. Doesn't mean they haven't earned the spot. Doesn't mean they shouldn't be there. Don't bring that bullshit. It's not the point. The point is it's good cars got torn up. It's not because of any other reason. I've seen worse cars be provisionals. So we'll take a pause on that for sure. The track champion or leading points in the middle of Michigan somewhere getting a provisional. That's you can't tell me that TJ Stutz isn't worthy of it. So
yeah, the guy he won this race last year.
Yeah, shit happens. Not a great night for him.
I see what Brandon's saying. Like
I see. He's the opposite.
There was a lot of hate online
yes.
saying like, why is this guy in there? He just had a bad night. You know what I mean? And it's really quick to forget. Like we almost burned Williams Grove down for the Morgan Cup last year, but it was during the Summer Nationals because he won that race. And just again, wrecked the time trials, had a bad bad heat main, and then took the provisional and just unfortunately goes around, does a 360 in the middle of the leaders there and caused a chain reaction. That could have been anybody. But
yeah, I'm with you, Brandon. I misread it. I apologize. Yeah, and Derek Houck, right? He was in position. We were talking. We were on the infield watching this, like Lance and Darren, right? We're both getting there, and like that yellow came out. We all were like, "Oh no, Derek!" Like we knew, like they were a little faster than Derek at that time, but he was still in the position, and laps were counting down. Like he said there, he kind of got he got the short end of that one because we. Yeah. And actually Lance took a provisional, ended up not getting there, but Derek fell back a couple spots and, man, that was tough. For Derek for sure, man. Feel for you, buddy. You got, good enough race car to make it. So,
sure.
Chin up there, man. A lot of racing left.
Yeah. There was a tough field, man. I mean, there was a C main, Darren Pittman drove from the C main into the feature, which was pretty cool after the 69K did figure out some of their gremlins. Tony Sharp, flagman there, he just said, Buddy told the Outlaw officials that he spun to miss a wreck. That official told the race director that there was no damage, so they ruled him not involved.
I would have
Well,
said the same thing. Pictures and
yeah,
video show otherwise. He
my
clipped the
eyes.
right rear. His right rear clipped, and
Yes,
he did a 360.
I watched
Um,
the whole thing happen. I saw TJ spin, and I watched the entire thing right there on the backstretch. Clear as day to me that he hit him, but I don't blame Buddy at all. I mean, I'm gonna say, hey, I spun and
I
missed
would
the
say,
wreck. You know
yeah,
what I mean? If they
hell
don't
yeah.
know, but I don't understand how they couldn't see that. But hey, it is what it is. Um, he gets a 6th place finish out of it. Another good, so overall good weekend for him. Don't apologize there. I get it; it's frustrating, but I just
Yeah, no, you don't have to apologize for anything,
yeah,
Derek. I would be upset too if I'm a driver and I'm in competition and I'm in a spot to do it. It sucks, right? Like you want that spot.
and and
I don't
listen,
take no. You're not. No, I'm not making any light of it for sure. That
you
sucks.
you got skin in the game, so
As they say.
as they say. So your opinion matters more than ours anyway. um, Tony says, when I originally called the red flag, I did call his car number as being part of the wreck, but obviously they make their own calls. Well, I mean, it was the same thing. Didn't it happen with Sheldon Hansfield at the Natty last year too, where he was clearly in a wreck and they let him go? It is what it is. They those, and as you can see, both races, Posse, 2 out of the top 3 podium positions in both races. Hey, I mean, I wasn't expecting that. I was, I figured Macri would. I figured our guys would be in the mix, but not as towards the top as much as they were. So this is a great sign of where we are as Posse, where we are here in Central PA, and what later in the year is going to look like. These Outlaw guys are going to get better as they go through, these big shows and they get more into the season. They're going to be a lot faster, but so are our guys. So I'm really excited to see when there's, for Natty Open and everything, how that's going to go.
We were standing in the infield there as the dash draw, or I think as the dash was ending, or however this went out working, and we were all like, "Man, I think this place would be pretty hype if Bill Baylog wins this whole thing." We were all like, "Hell yeah, that'd be cool, right?" Like, if there's an outlaw guy that would win this race, if it's not Logan, Bill Baylog would be cool. And then, as we got through it, and Anthony's on the front row, and I'm like, poor Bill Baylog, my guy. Like, this guy's good. We all like him. He's a fan favorite. But we're like, dude, I don't know if you know what you're about to be in for. And I don't know what happened in the other end of the track. He spun out. He got wrecked. What happened? I didn't even see it
on his own.
I couldn't see a replay of it where I was, whatever. But I think he was a sitting duck regardless. 30 laps, Anthony Macri on the front row with you, gravel behind it, shots there. What I see here, though, in a lot of this, it's passing, man. This car's passing. Track was great. It was wide. There were 2 lanes, at least where I stood.
Yes.
People could move around. There were sliders. You could run the cushion really hard, but you could also miss it.
Mm-hmm.
It was awesome.
It was very, very racy Williams Grove surface. And, Danny said it earlier in her year, if they give us a surface like that every week, it's going to be great. And this just kind of confirmed that. And I believe, who said that? Matt Trace. And also, not just props to Baylog, and this is somebody I was going to bring up as well, but how about Zach Hampton and Connor Morrell, 2 guys who have had some rough luck over the years. Zach Hampton went +5 in his heat race. +5 in his heat race. Drove his ass in there. He almost got into the dash. He was awesome. That was one of the highlights for me for tonight.
He's in a Discord with us, and he kind of was like, well, someday I'll learn how to qualify so I don't have to pass all these damn cars in a heat. But he's been nothing short of leaping over the expectation bar for me this season. I think many, many others. There's a few guys in this boat. I think, Chris Wyndham, 19th, 21st there, but I think he's shown speed. Garrett Williamson, I think these were tough tracks for him. I think he'll have better results.
Connor Romay, the dash.
Listen. Okay. So we'll move away from the Zach Hampton thing. But great job. Yes. Connor Morrell. Okay. I didn't see this coming. Dakota, our friend Dakota said he had a good run at Williams Grove before. He showed speed, but he passed Troy Wagaman in the heat to knock Troy out of the dash.
Yep.
Troy Wagaman went P1 or P2 to P3. Connor Morrell got himself in the dash in that heat race, passing Troy Wagaman in heat at Williams Grove.
Yeah. No,
Like,
I did
what?
not expect that.
And Troy, I love you, but I got back after the race and I said, I went into the pits and I said, Troy, hey, how was everybody feeling after you got passed by Connor Morrell in the heat to get knocked out of the dash? I mean, it was already over. I had to pick on him a little bit. He didn't have a horrible run. 11th to 10, said he felt great. He starts in the top 10. He probably finishes in the top 10 or closer, near the top 5. But I had to pick on him a little bit, right? Get beat by Connor Morrell, heads up in a heat to lose a dash spot. So that sucked, but good for Connor Morrell.
Yeah.
Feature stuff didn't go as well there, right? But young guy, got his butt kicked on tour for a year or two, and here he is and put himself in a dash. So that was pretty cool.
Absolutely. By the way, Zach Hampton, we kind of teased it last week before he really announced it, but he had a special Williams Grove t-shirt design that apparently sold really well. He only has a few larges and I think 3X left, and he's thinking about doing another run for when they come back later on. So go support that. It was a cool shirt, poking fun at what happened last year. Good that he could be lighthearted about it and then come back and surprise the hell out of everybody, I think, here with a top 12 finish and +5 in a heat race at Williams Grove, man. And that's not with any wrecked cars or anything. He straight up passed them. It was super impressive.
Yeah, no doubt. Good for him for sure.
Just a great show overall at Williams Grove. Fans up on Beer Hill, up on the catch fence, celebrating the Macri win as Macri came out. Macri kind of busted his finger. It looked like he took a beer can and smashed it on the back of off his wing, and his finger was bleeding. So yeah, just an awesome night. Sometimes I'll give Williams Grove shit a little bit, but man, and the Outlaws shit, but there's nothing like an Outlaw show at Williams Grove. It's one of the best times you'll ever have. So if you haven't done it before, make sure you get there. Quick look at the points here. Logan Schuchart, like we said, David Gravel, he added about 100 points to his point lead here. Logan Schuchart stays at second. Buddy Kofoid now jumps Carson Macedo to third. Then it's still Hodden Shield shots, Selzy Baylog, and then Garrett Williamson jumps Chris Wyndham there to round out the top 10. I'm going to hold the high limit stuff, and let's bring in our guest for this evening. He is in the back. We're going to bring on Don Livingston of Livingston Lawn Care here. Don, thank you very much for joining us. How are you tonight?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Hey, welcome in, man. I appreciate you being here. Really want to get into this weekend at Lincoln Speedway, and first, let's back up. We're going to get into this weekend. First time on the show here. I don't actually. I met you a couple times in the pits. We've chatted. I don't know a whole lot about your kind of background and how you got involved in racing and your business. So tell everybody a little bit about kind of what you do, what your business, and how you got tied up in this whole dirt track deal.
Pretty much I've been involved in my business, oh my God, well over 20 years. I just never really took the plunge because I always worked my full-time job and built my business up. And this past year, actually, the company had a layoff, and my wife, pushed me, said, hey, maybe this is the jump you need to finally, make the plunge and do this full-time. And it's been quite a blessing now because it's overwhelming now, just the work that's coming in and everything. So it's been a blessing. But as far as racing, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, this is just until you've had this business, but it was not your primary until just this last year.
Correct. I mean, I would get off work at 2 p.m. and take off with my truck and trailer right there from work, and I'd work till dark. You know what I mean? And I'd just hustle, and that's what I did. And just this past year, after work, had a layoff and stuff, and just finally said, "What the heck? Let's give it a shot." And actually, the best thing I ever did. Actually.
Nice. Yeah. People have always said it's working for yourself is better than working for someone else. And if you have that opportunity and you can make it work, now it comes with its own challenges, I'm very sure. But so how do you mix in the racing with this? Because you've been a longtime sponsor with your lawn care and landscaping.
Yeah, I've oh my God, 10, 15 years ago, I remember the name of a young man by the name of Nick Schlau. He was running, and just being a guy up in the stands as a fan, and being a kid that loves the sport. When I was a kid, I wanted to be the next Steve Smith Sr. You know what I mean? As a kid, watching him every day at Lincoln, and I thought, man, when I'm old enough, I'm going to run and race. You always have dreams and aspirations. Didn't go that way, but loving the sport, I just went the next route and decided to sponsor, and sponsored Nick, and he was about ready to get out of racing, and Norman Penny Wesner bought the whole his family's racing team out, and I had at that time just recently had bought a 410 motor, and we decided to put a team together. Nick ran for about 2 or 3 months for us, and just pretty much had enough, and just wanted to stop racing. Norman Penny, who've been involved with racing their whole lives, and came. I think there you are. I was thinking about selling my motor, and Penny gave me a call and said, "Hey, let's put a deal together, and let's run Lincoln every Saturday," and that's what we did. And Glenn Forsyth took the wheel and just ran it for us. So.
That's what I was going to say. I remember seeing the sponsor, and I remember the Wesner. Like I just remembering all of those times. It was Glendon for the longest time. So for about 10 years, that leads you kind of into now, and I don't see your name quite as prominent on a race car, but I know it's there. So kind of get us into what you're up to now. I know you're involved with Aaron and with Aaron a little bit and some other things. So what is just that 5E team, or are you involved with some other teams as well?
I help out Rick Lefevre and Cam Smith. I've known Rick for a long time, actually. Do some work for Rick and his guys, and Rick's a good guy, and help him out. And then Scott Fisher in the 358s, known him for a long time, and he's one of those guys, just a small team, but those are the kind of guys I like to pitch in and help. They appreciate anything you give. And actually, when Norman Penny had sold the team, and I had told him, I'm going to sell my motor, and that whole year after I made the decision to sell it, Aaron and his family had just gotten involved racing, and I'm watching this kid, and I'm like, man, there's something about this young man. I mean, he's got potential. I'm like, maybe I don't want to be done sponsoring and done with the sport. And near the end of the season, I had stopped down and talked to Aaron and his dad, gave him my card, said, hey, give me a call over the winter. And we called, we talked, and, decided, hey, how come, start small and let's see where we go. And, of course, anytime you sponsor someone, you always got people like, why him or why that? He was young, but let me tell you what, you're not going to find a harder working young man, respectful, just a good kid, and the whole family. And with my business, when you're sponsoring someone and you're going to put your logo, you want someone who's going to represent, you, and whether, he's at the track or off the track. And Aaron's one of those guys that definitely fits what I was looking for. You know what I mean? And it's got to the point now we're like best friends. You know what I mean? I'll talk to his family, even whether it's racing or not, on the weekends, weekdays. We're talking, communicating. And for my event, I was, short a couple of tire sponsors, and I talked to his dad, Ron, of his business. I said, hey, can I get a favor? You think you're interested in maybe helping out sponsoring a tire? And he's like, absolutely. That's just the kind of people they are, good people.
as we get going, I lost your camera. I don't know if you turned it off or that was on purpose or accident. Just in case, I don't know if you knew. I knew you got your IT pro with you there.
Yeah,
That's Don's wife, by the way. She's the
yeah,
IT
absolutely.
pro. When I texted her earlier, I said I heard you're his IT professional.
She is. Give me a second. She'll come down and fix it here.
Oh, no worries.
Yeah,
And I think Aaron might be on his way. He's trying to get in. So Jimmy, just keep an eye out for that. Looks like he's having trouble.
he said he was down at the race shop. He was gonna try and get in. Let's see.
If I see him pop in, we'll bring him in here.
He's getting the same issues other people have. Give me 1 second here.
Just a couple comments here. Derek Houck says, thanks, Don, for giving back to sprint car racing, especially for helping to highlight the volunteers that fight for us every day. Do you want to give us a rundown on how you got involved with the Firefighters deal?
Yeah, sure. Roughly, 8-9 years ago, I always had a little get together on a race out at Lincoln with a couple of guys I used to sponsor, and would throw just a little small party. And I saw Mr. and Mrs. Little, who originally started the Fallen Firefighters race. They were having like a small little food gathering and stuff and trying to, promote their race. And to me, I'm like, man, the light bulb went off. How can I help those guys? And reached out to Mr. Little and I said, hey, how about next year? Let me get involved and bring some race cars out to the parking lot, and, we'll put up some food and, try and make what you're doing, make it bigger and better.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. It's really cool to see everybody come out and kind of help put this together. Like you're saying, 17 tires to give away. That's pretty awesome. Including Beer Hill Gang's Rubber for Racers. Shout out Beer Hill Gang.
You said my picture went out.
And then, there's all sorts of prizes you can get. There's live music, food trucks. There's a cornhole tournament, I believe, too. Or there'll be cornhole.
We originally had the cornhole tournament, but unfortunately we didn't have a big turnout because they have another cornhole tournament not far away that's drawing a lot of teams. So unfortunately, we're going to not have that this year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But plenty of other stuff to do. Like you said, there will be cars on display. Just a lot of different things to do. Come out, see the cars, see some of the drivers, get some good food. Come see us. We'll be doing a live show as well.
I think what's new this year, we tried it last year. We're actually Friday evening from 6 to 10. I've got a band coming, Detour, really good band. They're going to put on a free concert. So I've got a stage coming in, so it'll be pretty good. I've seen them a couple times, referred to by a couple good friends of mine, and they're definitely worth coming to see, no doubt.
I forgot about that on Friday night. So there'll be, a bunch of people camping, I'm sure, as well. I plan on it as well. So
I'm gonna say we probably have between 35 and 40 campers.
Oh wow. Okay.
I've got my buddies all my friends that are coming. I've got friends that aren't I shouldn't say they're not into racing, but not like, us. They're every Saturday and Sunday, but they'll come just to support the event. Come hang out and have a good time.
We got
what's going on?
What's going on, Aaron? Aaron Bollinger, joining us. How are you tonight?
I'm good, man. I might cut in and out. We're just getting back home from the shop, so
yeah, no worries, my friend. Hey, I hope you're feeling better, buddy. How's the old noggin doing? You how many fingers I got? You good? How are you feeling?
Yeah. Today was the best day. I was struggling Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Just like if I did something wrong or moved weird, I was getting nauseous and sick in the past. That's when you hit your head pretty good, but I'll be all right.
You're a tough kid, man. I fully believe you will be fine. So that accident, I think a lot of people overlooked that one a little bit. Just because the big one with Chad that night and what happened, and yours was, while a flip, I don't know anyone was really like, oh no. What I saw doesn't completely surprise me the way that car landed. Is that really what it was when it was made that final kind of flip over and the way it landed down on the nose front end of the car? I think I saw that right. Is that what it really was, or was there another part of that I didn't see?
I don't know how bad it was, but I'm sure the last hit was what did it, because I just went and looked at the car tonight, and I'm surprised it didn't like just tear the whole front clip off. Like it was all snapped, and it was about ready to just all come flying off. So that last hit was just a good jolt to me.
What happened in that one? Honestly, I don't know if there was much of a replay. I was standing in a weird spot at Lincoln, so if what happened?
It was all my fault. I went in under a guy when I shouldn't have, and just totally sent it. And at the time, I didn't even know I did it. You know, I was kind of out of it. But yeah, it's just my fault. It happens, and it's racing, man.
Absolutely part of it. And you've had some good runs this season, passed a lot of race cars. As you get kind of back going, you're obviously looking at the top, working your way back toward this. What are some things you want to work on the rest of the season to kind of get this thing rolling and get in victory lane?
Well, I don't know exactly what we need to work on. We just need to tinker on pretty much the whole night. We're not too far off, but we're not where we were in the beginning of the season. We had speed there. I got a second, a fifth, and a sixth, and we were rolling, and then kind of lost our mojo. So normal this weekend. I think we'll be okay. It's just got to get back in your groove. You know, sometimes you get out of it, and it happens.
Yeah, and who knows, right? Maybe a race car getting junk, putting them together, it all kind of comes back to you a little bit. You know, you never know. Sometimes changing things without changing things makes
right.
Makes
Sometimes that happens.
all right. It happens. And I was actually talking to some other racing guys, and we looked at the schedule, and 6 of the next 7 races at Lincoln are time trial shows. So
right.
I think that plays into your hand pretty well. I mean, you're a guy who's done pretty well in points, so handicapping is never great for a guy like you. But do you kind of look forward to the time trial deal?
Yeah, I do, because if not, like you said, good in points, you're going to start in the back. So if I'm going to time bad, it doesn't really change nothing for me, because I was going to start back there anyway.
Yeah, no, 100% fair. So Don, actually, before you came on, Don was kind of talking about, what he saw the potential in you, and kind of got teamed up this year for that. And are you, so this week, if you're ready to go, I know you'll be ready to go and you'll drive, but if not, you'll be at the show this weekend, hanging out, doing appearances. You'll be there Saturday.
I'm sorry, Jeremy. I'm going through a bad area. I lost you.
Oh, no worries. Can you hear me now? Am I okay here?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So I was just wondering, if you're feeling better, obviously you're going to try to race a race car, but let's say you get through the week and you're not feeling great. You'll still have a car there Saturday at the show and kind of hang out with fans and have a little partying.
Yes. Yeah, I do plan on being there. I have a little bit of an obligation I have to do around 10 or 11 o'clock, but I'm going to plan to rush to be there. So for sure, we'll be there. And my girlfriend will be bartending. So.
Oh, well, there's drinks
There we
even?
go.
Let's go.
Yep, that's right.
Well, I knew we were invited for a reason. And,
yeah, man, it's a party.
We got to tell Chris. He might change his plans. He might actually show up.
Yeah, actually, she just got all the drinks today, so I hope she got enough.
Let's go. Well, Chris won't be there, so you might be okay.
Yeah, you
might be all right. So, Don, I want to get back to the event here just a little bit, and I know that the event location's a little bit different, and for folks that haven't been to Lincoln Speedway, well, let's put it this way: for anybody, whether you've been there a lot or you haven't been there, it's in the what do they call the overflow parking lot? This event, the camping and the event is pretty good signage going to be pointed for where to go, where people can find these things.
Actually, yeah, it's going to be over there in turn 3 and 4 in the overflow parking lot. But we're going to have some balloons. I've got signs made up. It'll be real easy to find. You know what I mean? I know we had posted it on the Silent Salute page. There is a little map letting everyone know roughly where it's at, how to get there. Actually, the party has just gotten so big. We used to always have it out there on the turns 1 and 2 side, but it just has grown and grown. And last year with our meeting with Jerry Parrish and myself and Whitney Wesner, he had said about moving it out there. We went and checked it out, and it was a perfect idea. So a lot of the cars that are going to be on display, Jerry was nice enough to open up the pits. They can bring them in. They can park their hauler, get the car out. We'll be able to push them right down through the gate back there where Fred works, Putney, and then take them right over to the auxiliary overflow parking lot. It makes it nice and easy to get back in and out.
So each year there's been sort of some cars wrapped with special stuff. Do we have that lined up this year, or is it? And if there is, and you can't announce who or what's going on, that's okay. But is that part of the plan this year again?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're pretty lucky. Chad Trout and his team, his car owner, great guy. They're going to continue to do it for the 410s, and then Ashley Capetta will wrap her top wing for the 358s. I mean, they both have been doing that easily the last 4 to 5 years, and it could be more. You know what I mean? And they're always so nice, and to do that, especially with sponsors and things nowadays. But they honor that and continue to do it for us year in and year out. So it makes it really nice.
Yes. That's awesome. It's one of my favorite events of the year. Even, it's always been a big event. I remember the very first one, and it's continued to grow and grow and grow to obviously due in part to your team and what you guys have been doing. And the one that always stands out for, I think, a lot of fans, not just the cars being wrapped, but the fire trucks with the American flag, where they put it, sitting in the middle of the racetrack like that. Jimmy, have you attended this race before? Have you been to this?
No,
one?
I haven't. I've wanted to go to it, but I haven't been able to get down to it.
Hands down, that does give you goosebumps. There's no doubt about it. You know what I mean? Like, we're there, we get to, enjoy something. We love racing and everything, but that's just a small picture. And I'm not a first responder or anything, but I've grown to make a lot of friends now through this here, and not just firefighters. You got your law enforcement, your EMS, all them. You know what I mean? It's pretty cool, and the outpouring support and everything, and it's become such a big event. It's bigger than me or anything else, and there's nothing better and gratifying, a week later when you find out how much money we raised and what the donation is going to be to the organization, and that's what makes it so great.
Yeah, this is it's an event that I think continues to have an impact and continue to grow just because of how close to home some of the losses have been to this racing community. Continuing up until, even the anniversary of Riley's passing, and he was very involved in, I believe in his local fire community. And this event, I believe, was started from the young man who lost his life right outside of Lincoln Speedway, if I'm not.
Yeah, that's Mr.
Correct?
Little. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
He's the one who originally started his son, and then after Mr. Little, I think, did it for 10 years, and then right after him, Jeff Staub took over, and he was best friends with Jerome Geis, the other firefighter that is this is in memory of. So it's pretty touching, and a lot of people are really close, and still Mr. Little, I keep in contact with him and let him know what we have going on, and he'll be there, I'm sure.
Yeah, Jimmy, could pull up that one picture with the flyer again? See that has the 8 car there.
Yep.
See in the background the big American flag. So 2 fire trucks have their ladders all the way up with a giant American flag hanging in the middle, right in the middle of the backstretch pit area there. Super cool. There you can see that other picture too, the small one. It continues to grow and continues to gain traction. It's going to be an event. It's already a major event, I think, in Central PA. But these are the types of races that become events. They're not races. And I love this one. I think I've been to all of these as well. And I look forward to it every year for sure, for so many reasons. So with all there, I saw a list today, the list of all the heat races, time trials, finishing positions, starting positions, both divisions. I mean, it is a monster list of awards that are coming. And then add in talking to some Beer Hill Gang guys that there's some tires being donated. I think I saw.
Yeah, 17 tires to give away.
How many?
17.
That's huge. Like
Yeah.
all of this is big, but 17 tires, that's unbelievable. That's going to go a long way. And how are they choosing who gets a tire?
Pretty much what we're doing, we're giving 5 away to the 358s in random draw positions, 10 to the 410s for random draw. And I try to, well, not try, we do it. I'll draw from position 11 to 24. You know what I mean? I think it's important to get back to those positions because this sports has gotten so expensive. You know what I mean? And that's why we raise it to $600 to take the green. And if someone can get a tire, they're walking away with $1,000 that night. So, so I'm giving 10 away to random spots at 410. One tire will be given away to the second fastest time. And then the guys from Beer Hill Gang is going to do another tire for one of their rubbers for racers. And they'll have a random spot, their wheel they spin. So, so it'll be a total of 12 with the 410s and 5 in the 358s.
Man, that's unbelievable. That's awesome. And if I recall, last year, the 358 car count, or the year before, the last time this was ran was a monster car count. I think this start money and extra money for that division really goes a long way for those guys. That not that there's competition to go anywhere else that night, but I think they really kind of show up in full force for this event. Unless I'm mistaken, is that what you recall as well?
Yeah. No, unfortunately, last year we were able to get for the 358s 225 to take the green. One of my big sponsors, I wasn't able to get them back, who put up a nice chunk of change to help that out. So unfortunately, we won't be able to do that, but we are still going to have it 1,500 to the winner for the 358s. So those guys, night in, night out, they're racing for, I hate to say it, peanuts. I mean, and even the 410s. I mean, if we want to get down and talk to it, this sport has just become so expensive. You know what I mean? And that's why, at least for one race, if I can put up a little more money, some tire giveaways, a fast time, heat race money, the guys at the Beer Hill putting on just the non-qualifier money. I mean, you talk to different people, they say it's over $1,000 a night just to run a 410, and that's not breaking anything, and so any little bit we can do to help, we try to do.
No, it goes a long way for these guys on these kind of events, and these events are harder and harder to put together. I find the people to put all this time, effort, and raising this money in. But the few that we have to cherish. So for me as a fan, thank you. I get to benefit from hopefully seeing great racing. Guys show up for this race and gals, and good car counts, and we have a great evening. So thank you, first of all. Aaron,
I'm just a small part, between Melissa and Sarah Furman, guys at Beer Hill, did a lot of work. Them guys, they deserve a pat on the back also.
Just a pat on the back, not all the beers, Matt. You can't drink all the beer, okay? Matt, Tracy, I see you out there. You can't drink all the alcohol. Leave some for someone else, all right? Jimmy, what questions you got for either Aaron or Don?
So Randy Kopp asks, other than the hot dog cart, what's on the food menu for Saturday afternoon at Lincoln's parking lot party?
Oh, yeah, I need to know that.
We have the hot dog and then Bricker's fries. And I had a barbecue truck coming, but he had just texted me today, and unfortunately, he got stuck doing a catering gig. So we'll have Bricker's fries and that hot dog truck. I mean, everyone's been telling me he's the guy. He's doing a good job, and I'm a hot dog lover, so we're gonna find out how good his chili dogs are.
All right. So it's a food truck that he does specializes in hot dogs.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh
Yep.
yeah, let's go. Glizzy truck, dude. Let's go. All right.
How
Go
about
ahead,
for
Jimmy.
camping too? Is camping free?
Yes, it is. Yep.
That's what you like to hear. Free 99, baby. Let's go.
Free 99.
But yeah, I mean, it sounds. I camped there in a tent before. I can't wait to bring my camper down. But it's a
You'll
nice
have a
little
good time.
area back there. It's a nice little area back there where you
it's
can camp.
perfect. Yep.
Yeah. So nice, and even if say you can't make the race that night for some reason, you still have all day if you can make it earlier to come out, try to win some gift baskets, and hear some music, get some food, get a beer, whatever. So, really love what's going on here on Saturday, and I'm excited to be there to experience it for my first time. Go, JC.
Somebody asked, what is the food truck for the hot dogs? What's the guy's name? The business.
The Home Dog.
Yep. Okay, there you go, Mandy. It is Home Dog. He is so good. I think his hot dogs are good, Mandy. I don't know how he tastes, but we'll see. Mandy can find out. The shit. I had something I was going to ask and I forget. The other part of this is Turn 2 Terribles. We're going to be there. So we'll have we got a speaker, we're going to have microphones, we're going to do some sit down, we'll do some interviews with people. We'll be the PA guys too. So if there's raffle announcements, we'll hang till the party's over. Best we can to help these guys out. So come out and enjoy it. Even if you're not going to go to the race, I want you to go to the race, buy a damn ticket. That's part of this is promotion. Go see the racing. But
if I can, real quick, one thing it's not on there, but we do have something for the fans. We're giving away. We have a sponsor who put up $250. So the Fallen Firefighters sell pre-sale tickets. So any fan that buys a pre-sale ticket from the Fallen Firefighters the day of the event are going to get an entry form to pick what driver is going to win that night. And if your driver wins, you'll pull a winner out of the hat. You know what I mean? So, of course, I'm picking the 5E and AB. There's no doubt. I'll tell you right now who I'm picking. So he wins and they pull my name. Him and I are going to split $250.
There we go.
You know what I mean? So, but yeah, we have a sponsor who put that money up. So any fan that buys a pre-sale ticket will get an entry form to pick their driver. If no driver is picked to win, all those tickets will be put back in the bucket and they will still pick a winner.
Cool. So there you go, guys. Go get on. I'm assuming on My Race Pass you can go on, get your pre-sale ticket, and have a shot at
and we'll have some there that day of the event. They can buy their pre-sale tickets. Yep.
Matt Trace, Jeremy, you want to do the 999 challenge? 9 hot dogs, 9 beers, and 9. Listen, that's a warm up, my guy. But here's the problem. As long as I can get off the hook on taking clear pictures, and if they're going to end up blurry as hell after 9 beers, but I'm in. I ain't worried about the hot dogs. But by the end of the night, those pictures are going to be ass. They're going to be worse than they already are. I mean, it's going to be bad. So I'm in, Matt. Let's go. 9 chili dogs. That sounds pretty awful.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot.
I'm sleeping in Jimmy's camper.
So yeah, so Friday night you got a band playing. So if you're thinking about camping, come on out. You got things going on Friday night too, and then pretty much all day on Saturday. There's music, food, beer. What else could you ask for?
Wait,
money to give away.
I missed that part. The band is Friday night.
There is a band on Friday. Yeah,
I have a band. We have a band Friday night, and then we have 2 country artists on Saturday.
Damn, let's go. Listen, Williams Grove, Selinsgrove, I love you. I'll go watch some bands Friday night. I'm in. I'll go watch some music. I'm okay with that. I'm fine with that.
Oh, you might as well. We'll have the Grove on TV. You'll be able to watch it right there, listen to the band, watch the racing.
Hell yeah. Yep. I'm here for it. All right, Jimmy, what do you got for Aaron? I asked him all the questions already. What do you got for Aaron?
Randy Kopp asks, what are your thoughts on moving the nose wing forward several inches permanently? It is said that it would negate dirty air.
I feel like we get this question every week, and nobody.
Yeah.
We haven't really asked anyone this yet, but
Well,
yeah.
honestly, I'm not too much up on it anymore, but I think you can only have it. What's he asking? Also moving the front wing. I think you can only move it so far. You know what I
What
mean?
about like changing that rule and saying people were saying that getting it more forward than the rules right now?
I think this came from Danny Lasowski, said it in an interview or something.
Lasowski, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what it would do. I mean, the only way you could find out is if everyone did it. You know, I don't know if it would make racing better or worse.
And I'll say
I do
this:
not
one of
know.
the few things I see teched on cars now. I don't watch them go around the pits, but I saw it. I don't know, a few weeks ago at Lincoln 350. They're measuring how far your front wings forward. They're measuring it. It's one of the, whether it's wicker bill or how far the front wings forward. It's one of the few things I saw them actually teching. There must be some advantage to having it forward if they're checking the damn thing. I just don't know how that would help the racing with the cars behind you, right? To make it better for them. I can't quite equate that from the front wing helping the car behind you. That big ass wing on top turns out it does a lot.
Yeah, I don't know. I know there's a lot of talk going on with the top wings right now, just like 7 to 9 inches or whatever. I guess that's guys are changing them early in the night or whatever, but I don't know nothing about the fronts, you know.
So we expect your next time trial show, you're going to have a silver wing, right? You're just going to have your own.
Thinking about it.
I mean, you might as well, even if it doesn't any different. Silver wing make you go faster. Apparently,
it's a new fad.
It seems like it though, doesn't it?
It's worked out this weekend.
Yeah, it did for sure.
Derek Hauk asks, Aaron, will $250 cover your bar tab after a win?
It depends what buddy I'm with. I would say no.
Let me tell you what. He wins. I'll take care of the tab.
There you go.
Hell yeah. So what did you think of the racing this past weekend, Aaron? Between Lincoln on Wednesday, well, you may not have been feeling great Wednesday, but let's say Saturday at Williams Grove. What did you think of the event and the race?
It was just the normal Grove again. I mean, nothing bad. I thought the racing was fine. It's just another high speed night. I don't know if there was much passing or not. I didn't think I even stayed out and watched the whole thing. It was a good race. You know, there was some passing up front. It didn't look like it was follow the leader the whole night.
It seemed to get pretty wide at the end, and guys really were kind of ripping the top. And then at the very end, a lot of people started to peel off to the bottom, like we see. But yeah, we haven't quite seen that really slow around the top Williams Grove yet. It creates big sliders.
Well, yeah, that hasn't been for like since even I've been in sprint car racing, and we haven't seen that for a long time.
I've always wondered lately, going to Williams Grove more the last few years than I did most of my life, that 1 and 2, the very bottom is so flat and so short the way around that if they moved all that out 10, 12 feet, tires, whatever they got to do, get people moving up the racetrack, do you think it would make a difference at all based on what you see when you get around that place?
If you move the tires out?
Yeah.
I think it'd make it worse because it's narrowing everything up, you know. I think it's not a problem, but I think what's happening is everybody has the same stuff. Everybody is so good, and it's just that's why there's not much passing anymore. You know, it's just we're all so close when we come out the gate. So that's just my opinion on it.
Yeah, I've been hearing that a lot lately. Everybody, that spending problem we have in the sport, everyone's spending it, and everyone's very, very close, right? You're buying it all. It's a spec thing, and there's not a lot of differences between the haves and the have-nots.
Yeah, and you can't spend enough. You're never going to outspend anybody because we all have the same stuff. You know, it's just we all have the same thing. You just got to figure out what works for you and try to be faster.
Yeah. I hear that a lot lately too, is just that feel. Everybody wants to get that feel that they like, then they know they can go make speed with. There's not a lot of guys out there that can go make speed no matter what the car is doing. They're aliens, right? That's not the normal. You guys are all kind of crazy, but anyway, but like, you guys got to get that feel. And, so this year early on, you had that speed, you had that feel. Has it been that you haven't had the feel, or just, hey, my results aren't speaking? I feel the same, but the results and speed might not be there. Where do you?
No, I just early in the year when the tracks are real slick, them guys know what they're doing with it, and I feel good. we just haven't been as stuck recently, or maybe too stuck on the racetrack. So we just got to get our balance back a little bit. That's just what we're missing, and I think we'll find it. It'll come around. Just got to keep racing.
And what motor program do you use?
Travis is on Kistler. That's what I'm running with him, and then my dad has a couple Donuts. So there's not much difference in them. I mean, they're all big horsepower. So it just all depends on who you go to.
And was it weird seeing the 19 out there without you in it this weekend?
No, it wasn't weird. I was fine with it. You know, it was cool to see someone else in it for once. You know, not that it was cool, but it didn't affect me in any way.
Fair enough, man. That's a good attitude to have, and you got to get healthy. So hopefully
Yeah.
you're feeling better, man. Can't wait to see you
am,
back
yeah.
out there. You're anytime I've ever come up to saw you in the pits, man, you're a positive guy. You have a great outlook on it, and hopefully we'll see you back here soon. I'll see you this weekend, whether you're racing or not.
Yep, yeah, I'll be racing. I'm feeling better, so.
All right, buddy. Don, Aaron, thank you so much for being here, man. Taking up some time.
Thanks
this
for having
high-limit
us.
race is about to be over, so enjoy the rest of that race, and we'll see you guys this weekend.
Yeah, thanks for having us on.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you, guys. I'm excited that they got me a little more jacked up for this weekend than I already was. So
Now you got to figure out how to get down there Friday.
I know. Well, we'll see.
I was there for that conversation.
Yeah. I need to get to Sealands Grove, man. I really do.
Yeah.
But I'm watching here the high limit racers, 4 to go.
And they're showing Larson running 7th. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Well, Peck's pretty kind of far out.
Like, I don't know. Right there's Rico. He's on the same screen.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm gonna 2 to go here.
Did he make it in the infield? He made it. Oh, Larson.
You're a little bit ahead of me.
Who's Larson racing? Oh, he's up to 6th. Oh, how did he get to 6th that fast? Oh, because
Kyle Larson goes fast.
Abreu just stole what?
Did he just steal the win? No way. No way. Rico Abreu at the line.
God. He stole it.
Justin Peck led that entire race, and Rico Abreu.
Justin. Dude, Justin, what's he got to do? What's this guy got to do to win a race?
That's tough.
Somebody sent a message that said Justin that Peck packed the right rear. The right rear's full of mud or something.
Man, hey, decent first top 10. Brett Marks 9th.
Hey, this is a wingless track.
Yeah.
You know?
Man,
Brady
honestly, watching that race, you know what it made me miss Bloomsburg, man. Because turns 3 and 4 here are like carbon copy at Bloomsburg, and man, I missed that.
Wow.
But I can't believe Justin Peck just lost that race. He looked so good all night.
You know why he lost
Rico Abreu, though?
Because he signed Nasty Nate's underwear at the chili cook-off. That's why he just lost that race. He signed his ass.
Well, congratulations, Rico Abreu. And we're going to talk about him a little bit more here. Let's get into Lakeside on Friday night.
This dude's on a roll, to be honest.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Rico Abreu wins on Friday night at Lakeside over Tyler Courtney and Justin Peck. And Spencer Baskin, Scott Boguski, Emerson Axum, Corey Day, Aaron Reitzel, Brett Marks, and Tanner Holmes, your top 10. Looks like Hard Charger was Chase Randall plus 12 and 13th. This one came with some controversy. I don't know. Rico wins, but Kerry Matson was leading. And Rico kind of sent it in there. Kerry didn't really know he was there in turn 3. And they got together, set Kerry up the track, took out Brad Sweet, and took out Kyle Larson. It's a tough deal. What was your opinion on that?
Looking at this, it's a racing deal. I was at first like, Kerry Madsen, my guy, what are you doing? And I really was at first glance from a distance, that very first live view. I was like, Kerry Madsen doing Kerry Madsen things. And then we go to watch it back, and you watch the angle that kind of changed my mind was the one coming right at you. They
Mhm.
replayed that, and Madsen made his turn in, and as soon as he went to do it, he saw a car and tried to get out of it. It
Yeah.
was too late. It was too late by that point, and I was catching bits and pieces of this, and I guess Rico and Victory Lane was very
Yeah.
took
He was.
took ownership of this whole thing, and
He absolutely did. Yep.
and was very genuine about it, and took ownership of it, and doesn't want to do it that way. It wasn't a thing. He took the run, and he regretted doing it that way. So I mean, no one dislikes Rico. How could you not? And then a guy gets out and wins a race and feels awful for winning a race, and not winning, but like just the way that went down for the lead. You don't hear that much anymore, man. It's such a lost art of being like humble and having some humility about what happened there, and knowing in the moment before he saw a replay and taking ownership of it before he knew for certain that it was on him, because guys don't do that anymore. They might do that afterward, and a lot of times Victory Lane, it's like they don't want to own it, and they'll just say, "Hey, it was hard racing. I'm not sure." Blah blah blah. He owned it, whether he was right or wrong. He said, "Hey, I'm owning it," and it happened fast, and that's all I can say. It happened
I know.
fast. I don't blame either of them. I don't think Rico did him dirty. He didn't feed him a right rear. He was straight into the corner, but he felt some kind of way about doing it there, then, and that
Yeah.
suddenly.
Because I remember in our Discord, I was kind of not necessarily with you, but with some other people, George Wood specifically, kind of arguing. I put it on Rico. More, I think it's more of a racing deal, but Rico was definitely, I think, a little bit more at fault just because he was so far back. Kerry couldn't know he was there. He had a
Correct.
lead. He was not there in turn 1 and 2. And he's going to run his line in turn 3, and all of a sudden Rico's there. After, I mean, I get it. Rico had a run, but I mean, he didn't. And Derek Hauk even here says Rico wasn't up far enough for Kerry to see him. His right front got to his right rear as he started turning in on him, and it was downhill from there. And that's what I saw as well. And I think that's why Rico owned it. You know what I mean? Rico definitely had it. He had a right to try to get in there, but just kind of bad timing. Kerry didn't really know he was there, and
Hey,
I don't think it was anything malicious at all.
Rico,
Just a racing deal.
for sure. Rico did it better than Logan Wagner. Oh, shots fired. If y'all know, you know. If you know, you know.
And they're
Logan, I don't want beef. I'm kidding. I don't want beef, Logan. I love you. I don't want it.
Definitely a racing deal from a racing perspective. Rico was mad because he knew he could have waited and had a better car. And yeah, that's definitely what it was.
That's the Jim Beam talking. It's okay.
But yeah, this was a good race though. I like Lakeside. I know they were talking about it taking rubber, I think, in the heats, but they reworked the track. It did. They reworked it, and it was good. I mean,
yeah, there was a lot of people saying like, "Hey, it's hard to get it out once it's there." They did a nice job, I think, of it not repeating itself from the start of the A. Guys
Right.
were bottom, top, wherever. So, good for them for recovering.
Yeah, and good for Justin Peck. Tyler Courtney, he's really becoming a model of consistency. We're going to talk about that here because Sweet's lead, thanks to this wreck, partially, but also because of his consistency prior to tonight. Now we'll see what happened with the points tonight, but Brad Sweet's lead is cut in half. But let's talk about Tri-City. Corey Day gets the win there over Brad Sweet. Justin Peck, 2 straight third place finishes. Now he has a second. He's really coming on here. Tyler Courtney, 14th to 4th. Brett Marks, 11th to 5th. Chase Randall, 13th to 6th. Danny Sams, Casey Cade, Aaron Jetton, and Corey Eliason rounding out the top 10. I didn't see too much of this because we were at Williams Grove. It was Saturday night, but kind of watched the highlights after. I think they got like 26 or 27 cars. And Rico finishes 23rd in this one. I'm not exactly what happened there, but Corey Day, I mean, just too good.
Yeah, I didn't even watch the highlights yet.
I remember watching them a little bit, but that was really it.
Yeah, shame on me for that. But here's the hard part, right? Look at Rico, 24th minus 20. Mm-hmm. Whatever happened there. This points is like, who's going to be the most consistent and win a few races? Is it Peck now? Brent Marks? Brent doesn't have the wins, but he's fifth, sixth, third. Like,
Mhm.
did get a win in Texas. Like, man, who wants this thing? So, what do the points look like after this?
So
After Tri City?
so it was Brad Sweet's lead is 49 points over Tyler Courtney. It was like 88 or 89. Brett Marks stays. No, there's no position changes. It's still Brad Sweet, Courtney, Marks, Rico, Reitzel, Kane, Peck, Randall, Baston, and Thorson. But the points gap has closed a lot from like first to like sixth, seventh. Um, just a little bit, but I mean, Tyler Courtney was the biggest one uh, to take advantage of it because he gained at least 40 points, just about 40 points on him. So, um, yeah, I mean, one or two more like that for Brett's. Now we'll see what happens tonight because Brad Sweet just finished third. Tyler Courtney was right there as well, so he probably didn't get too many points on him.
Yeah, they all kind of held their ground here a little bit on tonight. So, a lot of racing for high limit coming up. A lot of racing and a lot of big races coming.
And let's get into it. Let's get into this week and let's take a quick look at the weather. Friday, 84 degrees, partly cloudy, a chance of a thunderstorm. It's going to be hot and humid, so there's always a chance for a thunderstorm. We're getting a little bit of summer weather this weekend. Williams Grove and Sealands Grove both racing. We'll talk about that here in a second. Saturday, a little bit more of a chance of rain, but still just a thunderstorm. I don't think it's anything that'll wash anything out by any means, but you do have to keep an eye on the sky. 78 degrees, partly cloudy, going to be a nice day. And then Sunday, there's like no rain. BAPS 410 races. They've been getting great weather for their Sunday races this year. 75 degrees. So it looks like a beautiful weekend for a triple header here in Central PA. And again, like we already talked to Don about this, with the tailgate party starts pretty early. Basically, it's starting Friday night. It sounds like. I mean,
Pretty much.
You know what I mean? So, sounds like a great time. I can't wait. A lot of money on the line. It is the PA Speed Week format, 4 to 410s here at Lincoln. But Saturday, you got 410s and 358s plus their Dirty Deeds 25 makeup. So you'll have 3 features on Friday night at Williams Grove. It's also York County Racing Club night. Sealands Grove got the Ray Tilley Classic on deck, their first 410 race of the season, along with the past 305 sprint cars. They will be at 7 p.m. It'll be interesting to see how many cars go to each. That's going to be the big debate, and basically who's got the bigger dick on a Friday night. But, I'm hoping that both tracks will have good car counts. And I think, honestly, you kind of have to watch for a high limit. They're up in New York, and you might have a couple guys travel out for that. We'll talk about that here in a second. But, again, you can't go wrong with either one. And then also, like we were talking, from 6 to 10, if you can't make any of these races, go to Lincoln. They'll have a band and kind of get the weekend party started.
So this is an interesting weekend for this because there's storylines just this night. There are storylines.
Mhm.
Number one, 410s, who's going to go where? Who's going to show up where? Do some of these local guys continue to leave town and travel somewhere? This past weekend, we got some guys left town. Lernerville, Tri-City, Sharon. They kind of see you later.
Yep.
Now we have choices at home, both big half miles. Where do they go?
Right.
Then these 358s, these poor guys at Williams Grove can't get a race in. They've tried to start this makeup 4 times, 3 times.
3 times now. Yeah.
So should be a good car count. They've been off for a little bit. It's time to go. The 305s. If nobody paid attention or saw it or was there last weekend, there's some drama in the little past 305 series going on.
Yeah. With
a little
Logan
drama
Spar
going on there with some of the the front runners, Cruz Kepner, Logan Spar. There's some drama going on Facebook. I mean, this 305 division is very competitive. A lot of high car counts, very competitive class. A lot of hard charging young drivers, veteran guys. Doug Dodson has a win already this year. Cruz Kepner, like there's some drama there. 305s at Selinsgrove could be a good draw. So
Yeah, absolutely. And then Dave Scott Smelter says 23, meaning Chase Dietz, is going to be going to Selinsgrove. I kind of had a feeling that would be the case. It'll be interesting to see what Macri and Danny do. I have a feeling they're going to go. I'm sure they'll put out their
schedules.
schedule here.
And then listen, the weather's no guarantee. We don't know what's
No.
coming here. They're
No.
calling between 1 and 2 inches of rain next few days,
Mm-hmm.
starting tonight. Who knows where it hits, when it hits, how hard? You just don't know here.
You got to watch for the next few days and see what happens, because that weather can change.
We all know Williams Grove controls weather, so they'll make sure Selinsgrove cancels. So,
but I think at the end of the day, I'm just kind of hoping that they both have good turnouts, not just car wise, but fan wise as well.
Agreed.
So let's see how that goes. Hope it works out. Danny already mentioned Selinsgrove. I figured, but I know
he's going to Selinsgrove.
Yeah, I kind of figured he's been talking about that.
Alex, we don't care that you're going to Disney. You already mentioned that once. I don't care. Alex, come on, move along.
Saturday then, Firefighters Night. Again, we talked about this. Get to Lincoln. Port Royal has a pretty interesting show. 410 super late models and a rare appearance by the winged super sportsman at Port Royal. That would be pretty cool to see.
I know.
I know, right?
I really wanted to see this. I'll be honest
Same.
with you. I wanted to see this event. I'm curious how they race around that place. It's been forever, from what I gather, since they were Port Royal. I want to see this race.
We know the wingless super sportsmen. They run awesome there. They always put on a pretty good show. It'll be interesting to see what they do with the wing on. I bet you they're lifting, going down the straightaway a ton. And then Sunday, a BAP Sunday 410 race plus the 305 sprint. They have a potential to get 100 friggin' cars
100?
for this. Yeah, between the two series for sure.
All of them?
Yeah.
They're going to have all the race cars at BAPS on Sunday?
All these races that we mentioned here start at 7 p.m. Even the Sunday race racing starts at 7 p.m. About $20 for Port Royal, $25 for everywhere else. Or I think, yeah. So, get to the track this weekend. Let's pray that let's keep our fingers crossed that the weather stays well and people don't kill each other in the comments about Williams Grove versus Selinsgrove this week. And I'm sure that'll be coming. High Limit. Again, they just finished Kokomo there with just a peck for the win. Wednesday, they go to Fremont in Ohio, and then a two-step up in New York at Ransomville on Friday, and then Utica Rome on Saturday. So busy week for them, 4 races. And then it gets busier the week after that, where they go to Grandview and the Weikert. So they have 8 races here in the next 2 weeks. Hopefully we can get them all in. And then the Outlaws. And there's a little bit of a mistake here. It's Wednesday and Thursday, not Wednesday and Friday, where the NOS Energy drink sprint cars are going north of the border. Ashwekin Speedway, Wednesday and Thursday. Ashwekin Speedway. And then Cornwall Motor Speedway. All these are up in Ontario. That'll be on Sunday. So we have racing to watch pretty much from all week. You know what I mean? It's starting to get into where we almost have racing every night to watch it, whether it's here locally at home or nationally on Flow or Dirt Vision. I'm excited. So
yeah, I'm hyped. I saw there's people tracking the Outlaw haulers entering Canada today. I saw a traffic cam someone pulled up at the border that showed a couple Outlaw haulers trying to go through the border in Canada. Like, that's how hyped they are to get to Oswego, Canadians, to get them up there. This is a big deal for them, and it's a big deal for that area, for the series to go up there. And there's a lot of complications, getting across, and I'm excited. Hopefully, I have no reason to believe the fans won't show up hopefully the weather's good, and we'll see. Yeah, Steph, say it right. Come on. We had, I mean, Ashweekend. You've never heard the term, you never heard
Yeah.
the racetrack?
Ashweekend, whatever.
Ashweekend? You're going to have
Drink it or
some
dump
Canadians like,
whatever. Screw them. America's better anyway.
it's just North America. I mean, literally North America.
Drink it or dump it. Drink it for somebody you want to give a cheers to for a good week, and dump it to somebody who maybe had a rough one you want to give a shout out to. I'll go first. I want to give a drink it to Zach Hampton again. Just awesome. He really super impressive. And that shirt was awesome. And then I'm going to dump it to Logan Schuhart. That was a tough wreck for him, and he was very fast at Williams Grove. He probably would have threw his hat into the ring, I think, if that would have stayed green, and he would have missed that wreck. I think he was going to throw his hat in the ring there to compete for that win. So yeah, I'll drink it and dump it to those guys. Jay-Z.
I'm going to slow roll this for a second because I'm trying to get something done here. Give me 1 second. Trying to get our guest drink it or dump it into the show.
Yes, our guest one.
But it's not. Why can't I get Discord to load? There we go. I want to make sure I got the link. Copy. I'm going to try this.
Well, I'll get to some fan ones here. Steph says, drink it to the posse, keep it the Morgan Cup, and dump it to all the wrecks. Samuel says, drink it to the posse winning the weekend, dumping to the Grove for yet again losing another night of racing Friday night, though maybe it was set up for a good Saturday. I agree. I think they made the right call on Friday. It was still pretty soft, but ended up being a great, great Saturday. Alex says, drink it to Briggs Danner winning at Shellhammers and dump it to us hurting our motor. When he says us, he's talking about Adam O'Brien, who's a 600cc, a 600 micro driver who's looking for some sponsors. So if anybody's looking to get their name on the car, take a look out for him. And they're looking for some
support.
And we're gonna bring our guest drink it or dump it on. Is this Santos? Let's bring him on.
This is Santos.
What's going on, boys?
Santos?
How you doing?
What's up, man? Welcome to the show, brother. We're trying to do this. Each week we do this like last minute. We're not like prepping a week ahead for our drink it or dump it. So we had a driver who had some great drink it or dump it during the week, and then he kind of pussied out. So you know who you are when you hear this. And then we were gonna have our buddy Matt Bird on, and he's like, "I'm gonna be sleeping, bro. I can't make it that long. He's old. You've seen him, big bird looking mother.
Oh yeah,
he's sleeping. So when he wakes up tomorrow and hears this, he's gonna be pissed that I said that. But Santos, you're not my third choice. You're always my first choice, my friend. So I want to hear your drink it or dump it from this. I don't care when. You can pick any time period in history. What's your drink it or dump it for this week?
Well, first and foremost, before anything, this is beyond badass, man. This is so freaking cool. You guys are awesome. You guys kill it every week. Photography's badass. Just want to shout out that real quick. So thank you for the invite. Definitely appreciate it. I knew I was going to be up no matter what because closing here at my full-time job. So
shit, you're working?
Oh yeah, I'm getting paid for this interview right now. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. No. But no, it's a small break. I work full-time at Arby's, so they're pretty dead at night, so it's not a huge deal. But first and foremost, definitely appreciate the invite. Man, is there a limit on drinking and dump its?
No, look at Mandy's. Can you see the chat?
Mandy just wrote
it seems
a
like
book.
I can't see the chat, but I tell you what, it seems like she has quite a few every week, and she always has really good ones too. So, but man, drink it. I mean, you can't go wrong with Anthony Macri holding it down for PA Posse. Flying that banner high. That's always cool to see. But just drink it to the entire posse for not the entire, but showing up more than what we have in years past. I mean, Freddie going 18th to 7th, Troy holding down the top 10, Danny figuring out time trialing, with a controversial silver wing that everyone was talking about. Chase Dietz, Justin Whittle, the list goes on. So those are my 2 drinkets there. 2 dump its. First and foremost, 69K. He struggled at Lincoln, been struggling since Texas. Struggled at the Grove. That's always a front contender for the posse when the big boys come to town, especially with Pittman behind the wheel, or Ryan Smith. It seems like anyone can drive that car, but definitely struggled. So was hard to see that. But and then TJ Stutz, man, going from hero to zero real quick. Just a rough night. Went in the Morgan Cup last year and just having a rough night. Props to them for getting the car back out for the heat. But taking a provisional, then trying to just salvage a night, and then you end up destroying that car, and along with two other guys in the process. So, and as always, honorable mention for Drinkits every week. Once again, you guys kill it every week. This podcast has grown immensely from when I first started watching to now. You guys are awesome. So keep doing what y'all do. I love watching every week. It gives me something to look forward to throughout the week. So, yeah, as always, drink it to you guys for doing an amazing job with your interviews and just everything y'all do.
Appreciate you, brother. Thanks for coming on, man. We'll see you at the racetrack soon, buddy.
Yeah.
Have a great week.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it. You too. Thank you.
Yeah, now get back to work.
I'll try to.
That was awesome. Santos is always one that's in our comments there, and he's always bringing good questions, good opinions, and that's what we love about being live here and being able to have you guys part of this conversation. It's great every week.
So here's a couple things for everybody that still might be watching, listening this to the day after. One of the things we don't focus on is trying to get more people to do this. Like we do, but we don't, right? We just do what we do.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to all of you who have told anybody about this, said, hey, tune in. Hey, these guys, hey, whatever. It's really not about us. It's about trying to bring y'all content. It's your voice. This is as much your show as it is ours. We just happen to put it together. We're kind of dummies, right? So as contrary to Billy Dietrich thinks, I don't know everything. We're just kind of figuring it out. So my drink it this week is the PA Posse. Above and beyond my expectations. Great freaking job, everybody. Way to put your time trials and figured it out and putting the efforts in to make your cars and your teams and your time trialing efforts better because it served the purpose. Great job. Dump it. Man, it's hard not to go with TJ. That's such an easy one, right? But I'm going to go there because, at Williams Grove, after the win last year, I'm sure the expectations were high. It went wrong from basically the start. Every time he went on the racetrack, he went wrong. I don't know if I've seen for an established veteran winner have a worse night from beginning to end in a long time. And not like mechanical troubles. Everyone goes through that. But self-inflicted turn 3 in time trials. I didn't even see the B main issue. The feature to have the opportunity to make the feature, earn that right to be there. Just a rough night from a veteran, right? So kudos to the team. I saw them thrashing to get him out there for the B. I saw what the boys did and the team. They were yelling. They were carrying on. Hey, what do we got? What do we need? Where are we going? Hell of a job. But, man, that's a tough night. That's a tough night all around. Hopefully they have, listen, I've been watching. They go to Lincoln with an 11 Stutz top wing with a Barry Plank body. Like, they're putting it together, every way they can. And hopefully there's enough left to continue TJ behind the wheel because we're better when he's a part of the deal. So, Amanda, thank you. But where I was going with this is from all of you, if you have a free couple moments, go find us on YouTube. Give us a like, give us a follow. We want to build this YouTube channel a little bit, do more content over on YouTube, continue to grow that. Thank you for anybody who's come over from the last few interviews and watching on YouTube. We appreciate that so much. Obviously, Facebook has been our main thing. and stay here. Don't leave. But go over there, give it a like, give it a thumbs up on some videos. That helps that algorithm and helps other people find the show. Is really what we're looking for, and just gathering some new people. So we appreciate that so much if you could do that. But that's my long-winded drinking or dump this week, and hope to see you all at the racetrack somewhere, sometime this weekend.
Yeah, and I piggyback on what Jeremy just said. We got a lot of that was probably one of the best responses we've gotten after an episode was the Lance DeWeese interview.
Yes,
and if you haven't checked it out, thanks everybody. And man, it's so easy when you have an awesome guy like Lance DeWeese. For me, I was already a fan, and I did not think I could like the guy more. And then he came on the podcast and killed it, and was just awesome. So we appreciate all the kind words. It kind of helped us get out a little bit more. So we want to try to give you guys more driver interviews every week. But it's just tough during the season, especially now we're racing 3 times a week. I mean, obviously, we appreciate Aaron coming on, but you see there, he was just coming back from the shop, and just it's tough for some of these guys. So we appreciate you guys that come on even when we don't have a driver and listen to us, and we'll try to keep giving you guys that content and everything. And we really just appreciate you guys. And if you guys could just, like, share, follow, all that really does help the algorithm. Let's get to a couple more of your drinking or dumpets before we sign off here. There was a couple here I want to get to. Randy Kopp, Drink It to Red, Ricky Peterson winning this weekend. He won at Lernerville on Friday night. Shout out to him. There was quite a few, and Billy Dietrich and Chris Frank went out there. Carmen Perigo. Billy had a hell of a run. So shout out to him. It was cool to see some of our guys go out, to Lernerville and be able to race on Friday night. Marie, Drink It to Morgan Cup staying in with the posse, Dump It to Logan and Carson's wreck. Samuel Greenwald, special drink shout out to the Circle M Ranch Speedway reunion over the weekend. It was a blast. Derek Howe, I'm drinking at the Chase's 22nd to 11th at Williams Grove and 2nd at Lincoln. Dump It at the Logan as well. I hope to see him in victory lane or podium. I agree. Chase's, I think Chase's run at Williams Grove goes a little unnoticed, but awesome run from him. All right, here's Mandy's. All the winners, Rico, Macri Buddy, Ricky Peterson, and all the winners in other divisions. The Hershey Sprint Car Experience, which was on Thursday, it got closed an hour early because of the weather, but I forgot about that. We had Chris there. Said it was an awesome time. Got to go meet a ton of drivers and everything. The BAPS Carnival, Darren Pittman and the 69K team for making the feature from the C-Main Dirt Vision lot. Free live stream, and posse keeps the Morgan Cup. Dump It to the weather. So many junked race cars. Her not being able to make it to Williams Grove due to life family stuff that happened. Haters on social media, especially those who cheer, celebrate when drivers wreck. Macri's finger after the beer can celebration, especially with how bad it looked on the live stream. Thank you, Mandy. Dan So, Drink It to the Outlaws and the partners for making the Outlaw race at the Grove free to watch for everyone. And Dump It to Chad Trout's wreck at Lincoln on Wednesday. Racing deal, but unfortunate nonetheless. Absolutely. And then, JJ Loss did go out west. For sure. Shout out Tyler Shelley, made his first feature as well at Sealands Grove on Saturday. So shout out to him. And there was one other thing I just wanted to bring up before we. Brad Gibson says Rico's cheating. Let's talk about it.
Apparently, he's wearing a smartwatch. Victory lane. I'm catching up here. This is not what we wanted or needed this week. I mean, I don't think he needed a smartwatch to go track down the guy in front of him. Let's fucking be honest. Stop this bullshit.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know if it's really helping him.
I mean, unless it's traction control, but why wasn't he in the lead the whole race then? I don't know.
It's fair. Yeah.
It took him till the last lap to turn it on. Come on. Here we go. It's time to go. I'll click my button, turn on my traction control. Time to go.
Maybe
Maybe I'm not watching. I got to go watch, I guess, or listen or something.
I'm sure the Chaz is going to be going live here shortly, and he's going to be.
He already posted,
Did he?
shared. Yeah, oh yeah. He'll have a 4-hour rant on it tonight at like 3 a.m. when everybody's in bed.
So again, thanks everybody for tuning in. Shout out Vertical for Life. If you haven't checked them out, go to verticalforlife.com. Help them out. Help prevent veteran suicide through music. Doing great things there. And I want to thank you guys again. Hopefully we'll see you at the track this weekend.